Eid al-Fitr to all our Muslim brothers and sisters, and happy holidays to the rest of us. Welcome to the program. It's Lunchtime Politics. Let's begin with the headlines. Chief of Staff to suspended Governor Simililai Fubara Edison here denies complicity in the State Assembly arson, says he will sue former Head of Service Judge Nweke for libel for naming him as a perpetrator. Former presidential candidate Chief Dele Momodu faults President Bola Tinubu's approach to the opposition parties, maintains the president must not kill democracy over his ambition. Thanks again for joining us on the program. I'm Jeffrey Uzoma. Let's bring you up to speed with the big happenings in the politics and in polity and in the politics. I know it's a holiday, but things are happening in the politics. And our job is to make sure that you get all access pass to everything behind the scene, if you will. So let's get started with an appeal from the former presidential aspirant of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Dele Momodu, to the president. So he's saying to him to allow opposition to breathe. Mr. Momodu asked the president not to kill democracy, those were his words, but allow opposition governors thrive. And this was part of his response to the state of emergency in Rivers State and the suspension of democratic structures. He also reacted to the Akpabio-Natasha harassment allegation saga. Mr. Momodu explains how he expected the Senator, Godswill Akpabio, to seek peace and call Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan to settle the issue tactically. He was guest on our breakfast program, The Morning Brief.
Pleading with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, please don't kill democracy in Nigeria. Everybody who loves him will tell him this. I've not asked him for anything, but we love him for his contributions to democracy in the past, which is fast going down the drain. You do not need to hand over your future to God's bit of clay. I've written this over and over again. Just hold on to God. If God says you'll be there forever, so be it, but don't force it. What I see now is an attempt to force all governors in Nigeria to follow him by fire by force. It is wrong. If some people did not allow you to thrive, you will not be where you are today. So leave these people, leave these governors in their state. If they are in PDP, if they are in Labour, if they are in ABGA, wherever they are, allow them to thrive in opposition. That is the meaning of democracy. What I see in Akpabio today is a man who is afraid of something. And even in this crisis, I think the game they are playing is wrong. I expected him to seek peace rather than all this acrimony about we want to recall a senator. What do you gain? What do you benefit? Okay, after you recall him, then it becomes an anticlimax. Akpabio, my advice to him that once upon a time, some of us admired you as a great leader in Akwa Ibom who developed that state. But today, you are being distracted by allegations just because of a sitting arrangement. If I were in your shoes, I will call Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and find a way to bring her back and settle this matter once and for all.
All right, those are the thoughts of Chief Dele Momodu. Let's head on to other stories where a political group known as the Yoruba Aborigines Progressive Initiative have endorsed President Bola Tinubu for a second term. They were speaking at a press conference. The chairman of the group, Olushola Omoholerin, says the group's members are confident the president's style of leadership and ability to develop the country.
Under the leadership of its chairman, Prince Olushola Omoholerin John, former Niger Delta agitator, is proudly to formally endorse President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GFR for second time. We are confident in his leadership, vision, and ability to propel Nigeria to greater heights. A journey of 1,000 miles must start. First, you understand? So that is it. And we need to appreciate what he's doing. If you look just of recent, both Atiku, all of them, they are doing coalition together. Why are they not waiting? till 2027 before they do the coalition, or they wait for 2026. So we have seen the progress, what he's doing. That is reason. We need to come outside the authority to support him. We are here. We support what we know that this is right thing to do. Understand? We have no political affiliation to what we are doing.
Well, the game for 2027 apparently has already started. Let's head to Rivers State, where the Chief of Staff to the suspended governor of the state, Mr. Edison Ehie, had refuted allegations that he was involved in the burning of the Rivers State House of Assembly complex on October the 29, 2023. The refutal follows allegations by former Rivers State Head of Service, George Nweke, that Governor Fubara and Mr. Ehie were masterminds of the destruction of the assembly complex. He made a comment on Channels Television Sunday Politics where he insisted he had no hand in the activities of arsonists at the State Assembly complex in 2023.
Allege George Nweke to mention from the 29th, like he said, he claimed, to other dates where he visited government house, either at odd hours, without prior clearance from the BSS, to say that he discussed with the governor. Let me show you records. But it's very important to clarify that I was not, I had no hand, that was a part of the burning down of the River State House of Assembly. Well, I'll not join issues completely with Mr. George Nweke because I've already instructed my lawyers to file issues of criminal libel against George Nweke, and I hope he's very prepared to come and substantiate this claim and these allegations, if it were.
Okay, let's get to that very conversation. That happened last night. So I decided to get two sides of the conversation to hear what the responses are. Since the former head of service of the state, George Nweke, had a presser at the weekend where he said a lot of things, allegations against the governor. Edison Ehie was mentioned, incidents that had to do with arson, mobilization for all forms of destruction, things against the president from the governor, so many allegations, even mentioning the former Obiakpo local government chairman. There are so many things that the gentleman has said. So this is Edison Ehie's response. In fact, Edison Ehie said that he was offered about 5 billion naira to join the part of impeaching the governor, which he refused, which is how things got to this point. But, you know, with politicians, you're hearing all sides. So let's hear from all sides. Samuel Oga is a former member of the River State House of Assembly. He joins us virtually. Name Ewo is a factional River State PDP chairman, also joining us virtually. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Oga, let me begin with you within the time we have. So there's this claim and counter-claim, allegation and counter-allegation as far as the latest quote-unquote revelation by Mr. Nweke is concerned. What do you make of this back and forth between the former head of service and now the chief of staff to Governor Fubara?
Well, thank you. Good afternoon for having me. My dear brother, Nigerians woke up this week to hear another episode of the melodrama going on in our dear state. Quite unfortunate, laughable. But to address the issue you just raised right now, I think that the actors themselves, those who are involved in all of this, know the truth. The former head of service did not miss his words when he made the allegations and he mentioned names. And the events leading to the burning of the assembly and even after will lend credence to what the former HoS said. Take, for instance, it was alleged in that video that some persons masterminded the burning down of the House of Assembly. And of course, you'll agree with me that there was a government in place. And since the incident happened, no person, not the governor, nor any other person in position of authority in the River State then, has laid any complaint anywhere. Nothing had been heard of it. Nobody spoke about it. No report had been made to the police. So it gives us, it opens up a lot of issues. But I think, I'm not holding forth for Nweke, but I think he had just spoken from about what he knows, from the point of knowledge. So it's left for those, the key actors there, to come out to say, this is true or this is false. I'm not holding forth for any of them. It is left for them. But the actions that followed the incident will suggest that Nweke knows what he's talking about.
Do you believe what Nweke said?
I have said something here. I said the actions that followed the incident. You see, you cannot burn a River State House of Assembly and the government will keep quiet and silent about it. It suggests someone, and the governor, you are aware, had been moving, or his supporters have been moving from one church to the other, campaign saying this and going for Thanksgiving. None of them have stood before the altar. This is not the first time this allegation is made. None of them, as Christians, has even stood before the church, before an altar, to say, look, I do not know. I have no hand. I'm not privy.
All right, Mr. Oga, I think my question is also quite direct before I go to Mr. Ewo.
Okay.
You said event leading to all of this. Your allusion is to the fact that quietness or not speaking about it is complicity. So I ask you again, do you believe Mr. Nweke?
I believe him.
Okay.
I want to believe that Nweke knows what he's talking about.
Okay, let's go to Mr. Ewo. Mr. Ewo, let's bring you in. The way Mr. Nweke spoke the other day, of course, let's put it in clear terms that Edison Ehie, who was mentioned expressly in that presser, has come out to deny and is even suing for libel, according to him. But Mr. Ewo, the way Mr. Nweke spoke, it sounded, for those of us who are listening, like he's he's one of the governor's confidant, that the governor confides in him. Is that something you know anything about? And what's your response to all of this back and forth?
Thank you very much for this opportunity, at least to clear certain airs. First, Nweke was the head of civil service. Or resigned. Where did Nweke find himself? Nweke find himself, boarded the flight, and find himself amongst the FCT.
Oh dear. Okay, I'm hoping that the network will allow us here, Mr. Ewo. As soon as he comes, he will get the connection back. We're going to bring him in. But Mr. Oga, let's stay with you since your own network is better. People have said, watching that video, Mr. Nweke looked coerced, it looked forced, it looked like it was under duress. There are so many allusions. In fact, there was a statement he made that sounded contradictory from those of us who were watching. On one hand, he has said he resigned willingly. On the other hand, he said one of the factors that got him removed, when he was talking about the governor saying the judge will decide who is the next president, I don't know how that is even a possibility in the first place. So one hand, he said he resigned. The other hand, he said that one of the things that got him removed. So that inconsistency is something to call to question. But do you think that Nweke acted by his own will? Because Edison here is saying he had approached the governor to fund him for some level of loyalty, that 500,000 is not enough for him to run his life. And then I don't know what their disagreement or agreement was, and he moved on to Abuja, and they are saying that by his earning, he can't afford some of the places he's staying in Abuja. So they are saying this is all sponsored to give the governor a bad name. So what's your reaction, Mr. Oga? Oh, dear. Okay, we'll take just a quick break. As soon as we reestablish connection with both gentlemen, we'll get to continue with the conversation. It's Rivers State. For Rivers politics, as soon as you think everything is lying low, we're about to take a bit of a break. boom, another thing happens again. And we're here to talk about it. Join us in just a moment. We'll continue the conversation after the break. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Let's continue the conversation. I'm being joined in the program. They've been with me before the break. Samuel Oge is a former member of the Rivers State House of Assembly, as well as the factional chairman of the PDP in Rivers State. Namewa is still with us. Mr. Namewa, we couldn't hear. You were about to start your thoughts, but for some reason, technical reasons, please, can you continue what you're saying? Ms. Iowa, that's for you. All right, Ms. Iowa, can you hear me now? Okay. Oh, boy. Let's talk to Mr. Oge. Mr. Oge, if you can hear me, maybe you respond to the question. If you had the question I asked before the break, I don't know, did you get my question? Okay, I was saying, did you get my question before the break?
No. Can you come again, please?
Yes, I did talk about the inconsistency in his disposition. On one hand, he said he's resigned willingly. I'm talking about Mr. George Nweke. On the other hand, he said the reason I was removed, and I talked about the governor talking about the judge will decide who becomes the next president of Nigeria, and all of those things he said. And then even his own wife has said, oh, my husband may be under duress, and all of the back and forth. So my question to that effect is, they have said that this is purely him working under duress, is trying to survive. That's a counter-argument from it. So what do you make of that?
Well, earlier on I have told you that I'm not here to hold forth for Mr. Nweke. Mr. Nweke has made his position clear. All the counter-allegations that came after his revelations, he has also come out to say, look, I'm not kidnapped, I'm not under duress. I made the statement I made voluntarily. So no person has come back after Nweke has made that his position clear that he was under duress. So, but that's not even the issue. We shouldn't be dwelling on trivialities. There are serious issues Nweke has raised. I think we should address those issues. That should be of importance to us. It's not about whether anybody said he was under duress. Nweke has said, look, I'm not under duress. And some other person say he was under duress. Will you force him to say that he's not?
So the question I did ask Mr. Oge, just hold on. Some of the things he raised, Mr. Oge, some of the things he raised are very serious issues. He raised the issue of the governor planning with militants. He raised such issues. He raised several other issues I can't really remember, which is what I would also like you to address in all of the things. But the question that brought that is this such a confidence to the governor that governor, if he has those alleged plans, will be speaking to Mr. Nweke? That's my question, actually.
Can I tell you something? You see, first of all, I didn't know why you bring somebody like an imposter to come and begin to, and we take them serious.
Mr.
Addressing him as a factional whatever.
Mr. Oge.
You are aware, you know that there is no faction in the PDP family in Rivers State. So
Mr. Oge, just a moment. I will stop you there. Mr. Oge, I will stop you there. So is my guest is entitled to my protection. So you can make your point without casting any aspersion on him. You can say all the things you want to say. So please, I want you to refrain from that. Just respond to the question, please.
No, my brother, you see, the issues raised when Mr. Nweke says, are you with me?
Go ahead.
When Mr. Nweke says that there are plans, what new thing have you heard from Mr. Nweke? There's nothing you have heard from Mr. Nweke, because these things are happening. These things are happening. People threatened. The governor himself on the national television said, look, when their time will come, I will tell you and will lead. On a Monday, the Rivers State House of Assembly served an impeachment notice on the governor. And we started hearing that pipelines are being blown from front, right, and center. What proof again do you want to get from Nweke? If it is what Weke said, the governor has said that earlier before now. So there's nothing new Weke has said that is not said.
Let me get to Mr. Ewa. Mr. Ewa, let me bring you in on the conversation. He's still maintaining that the governor, although the governor wasn't speaking to militants, at least we saw it on video, he was talking to youths, and he clearly said, when it's time, I'll lead from the front. What he meant by that, we do not know. So it's actually subjective. Mr. Ewa, your response to some of these things that Mr. Samuel has said.
Okay, unfortunately, I didn't hear him well, but let me clear certain areas. First, Weke is a liar from the pit of hell. Weke ought to be making the statements he's making to the police. But where is he making the statement? He's making the statements among the FCT minister's allies, which is not supposed to be so. If you are genuine, if you know what you are doing, if you know what you are saying, Weke ought to go to the police or the army or any of the law enforcement agents to make the statement. But Weke, as we speak, is among the FCT minister's allies, and they are forcing him to say the things he's saying. They are all lies. Secondly, as to the question of the House of Assembly, when the incident happened, the police did make arrests, arrested suspects, and charged them to court in Abuja. They were remanded in Abuja, in the Kuje Correctional Center, for over 6 months. Thereafter, they were transferred to Port Harcourt High Court. Port Harcourt High Court equally remanded them in the Port Harcourt Correctional Center. But because of lack of diligence prosecution by the police, the judge early this year dismissed the matter. The judge early this year dismissed the matter. As to the question of the governor meeting with militants, which Weke claims is privy, it's not correct. Weke is not chief of staff to the governor, it's not even the SSD. Weke is not a politician. There is no way he can be privy to what the governor does. Besides, the governor will know, Sim Fubara doesn't have any business with militants. He doesn't meet with any militants. And from the time Sim Fubara assumed office in 2023, up to as I'm speaking with you, there's been no incidents of pipeline vandalization, bombing, or destruction of national assets in Rivers State. Where Oge said, I'm an impostor. What is he doing there? What is he talking about? The Supreme Court said, the party is supreme. The party decide, the party who knows who is their officers. Whether I'm the rightful officer or not is not for Ogi. It is for the party.
All right.
And the party sees me, recognizes me as the acting chairman of the party.
Okay,
in the state.
let's begin to wind down. The technical, the network actually affected sometime we were supposed to have this conversation. But right now, I was thinking by now we should be talking about peace. We should be talking about a way forward. The part of the amendment that was formulated by, the gazette that was amended by the National Assembly, which was sent to them by the president, said that there will be a committee, some form of a peace committee, if you will, allow me to use that word, to bring warring parties. Yes. Because state of emergency, suspending governor, court, will not solve this problem. It is the people. Political resolution is perhaps the best way to go. But we're still hearing drums of war every other day, and the latest being the one from Ms. Anweke that is now bringing this back and forth. So let me talk to you, Ms. Oge and Ms. Anweke, Ewa, in 1 minute each. What is the way forward? Mr. Oge, let me start with you. Mr. Oge, if you can unmute, please. We can't hear you. Please go ahead, Ms. Oge. Oh dear. Ms. Iwa, if you're there, please, you can give your own take as we wind down.
The governor, the suspended governor, Fubara, is always prepared for peace. You know that when the Supreme Court gave the ruling, he came to present the budget, but they rejected it. Now they have declared a state of emergency. We are waiting for the team to come from Abuja to commence the peace process. Look at the level they are going, the desperation they are doing now. Is it a set of people that actually want peace? The answer is no. They simply want to bring down the state, destroy the state. To whose interest? To their personal interest, not to the interest of Rivers people. We are prepared for peace, and we are working towards peace. And any day the team from Abuja comes to enforce the peace or negotiate the peace, we are prepared for it. We are not like them, from one trouble to the other.
Okay, can I come in now? Can I come in now?
Ms. Alge, you have just 20 seconds because the network, I don't know what happened. Just to wind down. Way forward.
Solution to this problem is that we'll have to address the real issue. The real issue is that we must be prepared to do what is right. And in the present case, what is right in this present case is that we should follow the law. We should, at this point, follow. It's not a family affair. This is a legal process. And the only solution for us to have a lasting solution to the crisis in Rivers State is to follow strictly what the law says. We cannot be going back and forth. Today we say we want peace. Okay, take
what do you mean by the law? We don't have time. We don't have time, Mr. Oge. My apologies. When you say follow the law, what do you mean? In 10 seconds.
Okay. Now, you can see from the actions of the governor that he was not even ready to obey the Supreme Court judgment. First, he said he would not do anything until such a time that the CTC is available to him. Secondly, you see him driving to House of Assembly on his way to commission a project that he has gone to present budget. Does that show sincerity?
All right, Ms. Alge, my sincere apologies. I did give you 20 seconds, but I understand the time is totally out. But this means it's an ongoing conversation. I must thank you both for coming on the program. Samuel Oge, former House of Assembly member, and Ms. Anne Factional chairman of the PDP in Rivers State. And I know that I think the governor had written a letter again, the third time. It's just a back and forth over this issue of budget presentation. But I must thank you both for coming on the program. Gentlemen, thank you. Let there be peace in Rivers State. That's our prayer. Let's move on to other stories before we wind down the program. The national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, says external forces have been a major cause of the party's recent internal issues. Speaking at the town hall meeting in Ajeromi, Felodun, local government area of Lagos State, Ms. Abure also expressed confidence in the ability of the party's leadership to take the party to the pinnacle of Nigerian politics. I think at that event, he also received some defectors from the People's Democratic Party in Lagos State. Thank you for your time and company. I'm Jeffrey Uzoma. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics. Bye-bye.